Hey guys, and welcome to my video. In today's video we're just going to be going over the basics of Look PLL. PLL is the final stage of solving the cube, where you cycle the remaining edges and corners around the cube until it is solved. In Look PLL, this process of cycling around the edges and corners can be done in two algorithms. The first algorithm is to cycle around the corners so that they are all solved, like that. And then the last algorithm is to cycle around the edge pieces so that those two are solved. The first stage is cycling around the corners. When you're doing this, there's two potential cases you could have. The first case is when you don't have any headlights anywhere on the cube. Headlights are when you have two solved colors matching each other on the same face of the cube. As you can see here, we do not have any of those. When you have this case with no headlights, you want to do this algorithm. R prime U, L prime U2, R U prime L. And then you do that again once more. R prime U, L, U2, R, U prime L. And you can see what that does here is that creates your headlights on every face of the cube. So now you can just rotate it until all the corners are in their correct positions. The second case which you could have when cycling around the corners is when you have one pair of headlights already made and then no headlights anywhere else on the cube. When you have this case, you want to put the headlights to the left of the cube and then you do this algorithm. R, U, R prime, U prime. R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime, U prime. R, U, R prime, F. And then you can see here, that would have solved all of your corners so that they are all correctly permuted into their relevant positions on the cube. The second stage of Look PLL is, once your corners are all solved, to cycle around the edges into their solved positions. The first case is when you have one bar already solved, and then you just have three edges which you need to cycle around. It's important to take note of which direction they need to cycle around. In the first case, you can see the yellow-blue needs to cycle here, yellow-red needs to cycle here, yellow-orange needs to cycle here. So the direction of travel for the pieces is this way around the cube. What you do here is F2, and then you turn it in the direction that they're meant to cycle, so this way, U prime, L, R prime, F2, L prime, R, U prime, again in the direction that they're traveling, and then F2. The next case which you may have is very similar to the last one. You have your bar already made at the back, and then you have your three pieces which need to cycle again. However, if you look closely, you can see they now need to cycle this way around the cube. Yellow-blue here, yellow-orange there, yellow-red here. So we're going to do the exact same algorithm that we did in the last one, except instead of cycling the pieces this way, we now cycle them this way. So you do this algorithm. You do F2, U, L, R prime, F2, L prime, R, U, F2. And that would have cycled around all your edges so that they're solved. The next case involves cycling around all four edges. There's no bar already made. It's important to pay attention again to which way they will need to cycle. This algorithm that you do is when they need to cycle opposite from each other. You can see the yellow-orange here needs to cycle here, yellow-red needs to cycle back here. Then in the other face, yellow-blue needs to cycle here, yellow-green needs to cycle here. So this algorithm is for cycling pieces across from each other. M2, U, M2, U2, M2, U, M2. And that would have cycled them and your cube is solved. The very last case that you might have is very similar to the last one again. You need to cycle all four of your edges. However, this time you aren't cycling them across from each other. You're cycling them beside each other. You can see the yellow-red needs to go here and the yellow-blue here. Then on the other side, yellow-orange needs to go there, yellow-green needs to cycle here. So when you have this case, you do M2, U, M2, U, M prime, U2, M2, U2, M prime. And then you might have to adjust the upper face. In this case I did, but you won't always have to. And then your cube will be solved. Right guys, that sums it up for my video on Look PLL. I hope that you learned it. Thank you for watching my video if you did stay to the end. If you need new cubes, I highly recommend you checking out dailypuzzles.com.au. They have all the latest cubes at unbeatable prices, and they ship worldwide. If you do decide to buy cubes from them, be sure to use the discount code DSCubery. Doing this will get you 10% off of your entire order, and it will really help me in the future with making videos. That's all for now. Bye guys.